just sharing the link and we can get to jamming. Cool. So welcome everybody. We are talking about AI League today. What that is, our prediction game, and who's beating who in FIFA. And I don't know if you guys saw, but Spain just lost to Morocco, which is wild. And definitely I got 0 points for that today. But we have the team from Alter State Machine, also behind AI League, Fluffs, etc., etc., etc. I'll let you guys introduce yourself in a way that makes sense for you guys because you guys have so much going on that I can't keep up.
Cool. Yeah, thanks. David McDonald here. So I'm the founder of Altered State Machine, part of the sort of Futureverse ecosystem. As mentioned, that includes things like Seekers, Fluffs, Thingies, All Stars, FIFA AI League. The list does tend to go on. We're a pretty full on ecosystem. Glad to be here. Really looking forward to chatting about FIFA and some of the future developments that's going on at the moment.
Cool. And I'm Brian, known as Genesis Brian in the Discord, and I am a community manager over at FIFA AI League. So if there's people listening that aren't in there, you should definitely pop over, say hi. We're having some fun during these games. The ones today have been pretty fun to watch. So yeah.
It's pretty wild. And then we have a lot of RPD folks because we're just insanely excited about what you guys are doing with Futureverse and AI League. So I'll let you guys just rattle off some quick intros. Danny, you're up top, so I'll let you go first, and then we'll dive into what the hell AI League is and why RPD's been trying to get you guys to challenge us for so much for the past few weeks while FIFA's been going.
Yeah, cool. Thanks, Rich. And thanks to the ASM guys for joining us. Yeah, we're really excited about ASM. My name's Danny. I was on the founding team of Ready Player, on the core team, and I've been working on the media partnerships strategy with some of the folks here at Ready Player, talking to a lot of the ecosystems games that we're excited about, really helping drive global adoption of Web3 gaming with Ready Player and all of our ecosystem partners. So I'm very excited for today.
Marky Metaverse, you want to go next?
Yeah, great. Thanks, Rich. So I'm Mark Manginelli. I'm one of the co-founding members of the DAO as well, and I lead partnerships and Web3 sales for LandVault. So LandVault, we're the largest production and development studio in the metaverse. So in an agnostic manner, we work with brands, Web3 teams and companies, helping them ideate and strategize their strategy of bringing their IP into a decentralized metaverse.
Awesome. Adam?
Hey guys, Adam Smith here. So also a member of Ready Player DAO and investor via Fourth Revolution Capital or 4RC, colleague of DeFi Dad here as well. So nice to be on the call with y'all.
And Mr. Lifeforce Games.
What's up, everyone? Boomer. First name is actually Ryan, though. And founding member of RPD and avid DJ and collector of everything ASM with bosses and primes and 100+ fluffs. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Really
Hey, Boomer, how many fluffs are you up to now?
104.
True DGen. I don't think DGen properly captures what 104.
Yeah,
that escalated quickly.
Big fluff guy. We know Mark's got a boss prime himself as well, right?
We love the fluffs and we love the bosses and primes. Hell yeah.
Awesome, Austin, and then Travis.
Yeah. Hey, guys.
Hey everyone.
Go ahead, Travis.
Oh, there we go. Oh, Austin. Yeah, my bad. Hey, hey, this is DeFi Dad. I'm representing our team from Fourth Revolution Capital. We're funny enough, I guess we're involved twice then with the team here at Altered State Machine, through 4RC, and then as members of Ready Player DAO. So yeah, I was actually just putting in a prediction today, and David, you guys did such a great job on just like masking the complexities of Web3 and making it fun and easy. So kind of excited to talk through some of your guys' lessons today with the new AI League and some of the campaigns you've been doing here to grow that with FIFA. So anyways, guys, yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
For sure. I'll jump here in.
Yeah.
pretty
Hey, Rich,
quick.
real quick. Housekeeping. Are we? Is the Twitch stream working? Do you know? Can you check that?
Yep, it's getting comments and we got viewers.
All right, cool. Thank you.
I'll go quick. Hi, I'm Austin McKee, also on Ready Player DAO's founding team. Worked operations behind the DAO, helped stand up a lot of our processes in house, and it's kind of my passion. So it's been great, but really looking forward to digging into to what the AFA team has for us today. So thanks, guys.
Awesome. So yeah, let's dig into what AI League is. So I'm gonna switch over to view my prediction dashboard. And if Dave, you want to talk through kind of what the idea is and what we're doing here, I can walk through the dashboard and show off what you guys have built.
Yeah, cool.
Feel free to jump in.
Where am I supposed to be seeing this?
So I've got it shared for the stream, and I'll just walk through it. But essentially,
Actually, Rich, do you have the link as well for the stream? So if we wanted to look at the screen that you're sharing, I know we'll have to mute it so we don't get the playback on it.
Yep. Let me.
I love, by the way, as we're kicking off here, I actually earned some points today. I was like totally confident that my predictions would never earn me anything. So if I can earn some points in this game, I think just about anybody with a semi decent working knowledge of the FIFA World Cup. So
yeah, I think that's one of the awesome parts and the fun parts is my mom's into it and she doesn't know a thing about football or soccer, whatever you call it there. But she's kicking my butt and she's having a blast doing it. So yeah, you don't have to be a big football nut to have some fun with it and to still win some prizes. So it's definitely worth pointing out.
I need to check in on how Chasing Tails' dog is doing, to be honest. That's my favorite one to watch. I don't know if you guys have seen the videos of her getting her dog to do the predictions. That's pretty cool.
She was on a roll for a while, though. I think she had quite a few consecutive guesses.
She's 2 behind me on my friends leaderboard, so the dog's almost taking me over here.
So I don't actually have this link that you're referring to for the stream, or is it just in the email?
I think we just dropped it in Discord for our chat. Brian, if you don't mind sharing that over, and we can walk through with David for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on.
David, do you have Slack up by chance?
Slack. Yes, that's one thing I do have.
Cool. I just sent it to you and tagged you.
Cool.
Awesome. So yeah, essentially I'm on the dashboard, the main page where you'll see kind of ranks, points, and our global rank. And I can also see today's predictions. And my predictions throughout FIFA World Cup and the points, etc. And then David, just let me know once you got it pulled up, and I'll let you take over.
Yeah. So, I mean, essentially what you're seeing here is a little bit of a delay, so we're going to have to try and manage that. Essentially what you're seeing here is the game before the game. So this is the sort of engagement pace to get community into what we're doing as the World Cup plays out. and then at the end of this, the AI game will be released in sort of in January. So this is kind of the preamble leading into that. Essentially, we wanted to make an experience using Web3 that was completely seamless and people and not didn't have all the barriers for entry that blockchain typically does have. And this is kind of the first example of how the root network's going to approach mass market adoption. So without getting into I'm sort of avoiding getting into the FIFA side of things, more about the philosophy of why we put this together and how we put it together. It's kind of a little bit of a showcase for what the Futureverse network and team is, and how we're going to think about providing solutions to that mass market.
That's awesome. So I know there's kind of some prizes and additional benefits that will come depending on your ranking and you're playing, and you've got these little characters that are hanging out in the background too. Kind of curious as to what those are and what that will look like in the AI League.
Yeah, so the prizes for participation, so we've got spot prizes and ultimately overall winners prizes as well, which is cool. The characters that you're seeing there are examples of the digital collectibles that will be available for the AI game at the end of this. So they will come in different levels of rarity depending on how you ranked in the prediction game, and allow you to take those characters, own them, and then play in the subsequent FIFA games that will be available for them later down the track. They're minted on the root network. So I think the first characters that will be minted on the root network, which is pretty cool. And you'll see that they're kind of like all stars, except for these guys have a problem with nudity, obviously, whereas the all stars don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say I love the swag. One I like to hear whether or not those are customizable. But you also mentioned the root network, and I am not overly familiar with the root network. So for those of us that aren't, would like to hear about what that is. How do you get involved and start playing on the root network? Is that like I have to bridge over, or what does that experience look like?
For the most part, you shouldn't really know that you're on the root network or that you're interacting with the root network for the majority of users. If it's so obvious that people have to ask questions and figure things out and read tutorials and watch a half an hour YouTube video for onboarding and how to use a wallet, then we haven't done our job very well. As for power users, then that's kind of different, running nodes and that sort of stuff. But even that kind of stuff, as you've seen what we've been doing with the sort of Silo Seekers project, is even that level of detail we want to gamify, and we want to make accessible to the masses. And you might have seen some of those examples also in the Altered State Machine side of things with the Cortex, and how we've gamified sort of staking, sort of core DeFi protocol mechanics, like staking, for example, in a way that is hopefully obscures the complexity for the majority of people, and makes it a fun, interactive thing to do.
Yeah, it's good that you mentioned Ultimate State Machine and the brains. You know, we've got Daddy Truffles, aka Danny Carpio, on the call, who's been just insane at mining some of those those ascended brains for us. And for those people that don't know what the brains are and what they're used for, I'll ask you to kind of walk through that, and I think that'll segue into how AI comes into play with AI League and how you guys are introducing AI to gaming. But I'll also, before you start, mention that for those of you that are signing up for this prediction game, following Ready Player DAO and Altered State Machine, we're going to have some Gen 2 brains to be given away. So we know it is a little bit later in FIFA World Cup, but there's still tons of prizes to win. There's multiplayer, so you can definitely come back. And we're also going to track the score from today on out in our Ready Player DAO League, which we'll tweet out that link as well. So don't forget to sign up if you haven't already. Get in the competition and try to win some brains and win some prizes. But yeah, let me kick it back over to you. And what are the brains? Why does somebody even want these brains that we're giving away?
Yeah, so brains are the sort of core of the Altered State Machine protocol. They are the container and the diversity driver for the artificial intelligence that we're creating for various use cases. They're an interoperable, completely decentralized and self-sovereign asset, AI asset, which is completely unique and novel, and they enable you to use and evolve, develop, and train artificial intelligence within use cases such as gaming and various other use cases like art and other stuff to come, like personal assistants and NLPs and that sort of stuff. Essentially, the brain is your key to entering into these use cases, and it contains all the memories that the AI has been trained on within that use case. So, for example, jumping into a soccer game like AFA, you'll be able to train your character, your brain, how to play soccer and that within that environment. And as it goes through and learns about the environment, it starts creating a memory tree of basically neural network files that represent how it's learned how to play the game. You can then take that brain and put it into another game like the Muhammad Ali game and train it how to box, and it creates another memory tree. And the diversity driver side of it means that you get a truly unique, non-fungible asset that has its own unique personality within all the use cases that it is put into.
So essentially, you can carry your brain around from game to game and teach it how to play different games and let it plug in and play against other people, right? Whether they're online or offline, because it's an AI brain. Am I understanding that correctly?
That's 100% correct, and it creates some really interesting sort of game mechanics that haven't really been explored before, particularly in the realm of asynchronous play. So if I have a look at what we're building for the FIFA game, it enables people to play a casual game, but have their AI play on their behalf while they're not there, so they can train it to and set it up to respond in a certain way or play in a certain manner, and it can do so, and then go away and do some work for 8 hours or whatever it might be, and come back, and it would have played while you're away, and people would have been able to challenge it to matches, and the world that it lives in still persists while you're not there, which opens up some really interesting possibilities.
Yeah, and so that's all really cool. How would one get started? Do you have to own a brain to play? Are there like tokens involved? Is there an app, mobile app? Is it desktop? Give me the juicy gamer details for getting in and getting involved in the A League?
So it depends on the use case. So brains come in different forms and functionalities. You've got the Genesis brains, which are the first ones, which are the sort of premium assets. They have a whole bunch of different capabilities that no other brain will have, like early access to use cases. The ability to splice, so the ability to create Gen 2 brains that contain the genetic memory of their parents. So if you've trained it to be a superstar boxer in the next Legends, you can essentially create derivatives of that superstar that will be higher value and available to sell on the secondary market. So that's the Genesis brains. Gen 2 brains are sort of the entry level mass market sort of asset. They are specifically designed to be a low barrier of entry. They function within use cases exactly the same as Genesis brains, but they don't have the premium features alongside them, like splicing, for example. And then you've got use cases like Thingies, which is a genome matrix and memory tree contained within a 3D asset for a single use. So they're kind of like a one-shot, a single-use brain. And you can see the art that they've been producing to date. All brains will have access to that shortly. But Thingies was the first sort of collab we did around the AI creative space. FIFA All Stars will act similar to Thingies, so they will have genome matrices embedded within them. We need to generate those genome matrices and memory trees, so we'll be using the Cortex protocol to do that. People will be able to swap their ASTO energy that they've generated for LP tokens that are 50-50 USDC and ASTO in order to generate the game characters for FIFA.
That's awesome. So we've mentioned FIFA and the FIFA game a lot. Is this an official partnership? And like, if so, what does that mean for the game and prediction in the AI League?
Yeah, definitely official partnership. So we sort of negotiated that with FIFA a few months ago and began working on both the game and the prediction game. The partnership is specifically we wanted to have something out for during the World Cup and then a persistent game that went on after the World Cup. So we've been working on those two sort of sides of things alongside FIFA pretty closely. Really excited about the future of the partnership and what it means to be creating the first sort of game of this scale for FIFA since their previous partnership with that game studio they were involved with. And it's been an interesting, stressful, very involved process, but hopefully it'll be quite rewarding once we get that in market and people begin playing it.
Yeah, so I pulled up the creating your team after the FIFA World Cup sidebar, and it talks about that AI League that you're referencing, and the little characters are sitting on an iPhone. It looks like. Are you guys going to be mobile on the iPhone, Google Play, etc. as well?
Yes. So it will be a mobile first game on iOS and Android. That obviously comes with some challenges, as you're probably all aware of Apple's recent what's a kind way of putting this? Recent attitude towards people in our space.
the NFT 30%, etc. stuff that Apple's been putting out, right?
Yeah, it makes it very difficult to navigate when you're in the middle of building an application, and to have sort of things happen like that makes it difficult. But we are we're pretty onto it, team, and have managed to find optimum ways of producing the experience we want for our users. And hopefully this sets up a good example of how we can do these things in the future. I think in the future, options around platforms are getting better. You see a lot of development in the web GPU space and other tools to make native-like experiences that are more interoperable between devices. Be interesting to see how organizations like Apple respond to that, whether they still want to get their 30% cut across the board or not, will be something that we'll be following closely.
Yeah. So there's a lot of other big brain people in this chat right now that have a lot better questions than I do, and I'm gonna open it up to them as well. But one last thing that I just want to walk through before I let the dogs out is walking through what these predictions look like, right? So I pulled up my prediction for the Portugal-Switzerland game because I don't want to talk about the Spain one that I did because it didn't hit. But essentially, it's not too late to get in. So go ahead and we retweeted the link for you to get signed up and challenge Ready Player DAO in their predictions. Essentially, you pick 3 predictions: a match result, which is a winner; a match event, which is something that happens during the match; and then when the first goal is scored. And with those predictions, there are multipliers if you get all 3, and then points depending on what the prediction is. So for those of you that are just now getting in, feel free to sign up using that link. You can go through your predictions and try to beat my current rivals rank or even my global rank, which is sitting at all 2s.
Rich, refresh your screen because the points got updated while we were live.
Oh.
So that you'll see the results of that match.
Nice. I got 300 points-ish, so let's see what happened just then. Go through all my predictions, some of which were good. We'll only show off the good ones here, where I got that multiplier, which gave me 1,200 points for the Belgium game. Versus you'll see just getting like one of them will give you like 60 points. You'll see it's really easy to catch up if you are behind, so don't give up. Because I did miss a day and felt like giving up and then got yelled at by my friends here. And we will see that Portugal won. I got 1,500 points for that one. I just missed the match event. And then for predicting almost the exact time of the goal, I got a ×6 multiplier.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I predicted 12 minutes and it hit it in the 17th minute. I'm bullish Ronaldo, So yeah, awesome. Love to see myself move up in that global rank, but I'll let you guys start tearing away with the Alpha League questions, and I'll warn you, David, that these guys are probably going to dig for some serious alpha here.
Good luck.
Actually, hey David, I've got a more of a question. I think that relates back to global sentiment around the crypto markets, because so you are one of maybe like 10 or 12 people in the world who's now negotiated a partnership with FIFA related to this AI League prediction game. So just curious. I mean, obviously there's probably more here that you're not able to share due to confidentiality agreements, but just kind of curious, like, what is that conversation like with organizations like FIFA around Web3, what you guys are building as it relates to crypto in general? Like, is there still an openness to like what's being built?
That's a great question.
Is there more hesitation in light of where the whole crypto market has been this year?
Yeah, I think there's openness, still openness across the board, not just within FIFA. We're still creating partnerships and maintaining partnerships that we've already formed, and the people that we've been working with have had a fairly positive experience with us so far. So they're still, relatively bullish on Web3 in general. And I think our approach, the Futureverse approach, is not alienating for their user bases. So we've had pretty good traction with that. We're pretty good at talking about the functionality you get from Web3, specifically the technology and the things that it enables, but translating that into a user experience that doesn't alienate people who are not Web3 fanatics is the ultimate goal. Obviously, there's been the whole market has taken a hit recently with all the stuff that's gone on. And I think in general, people are a bit more skeptical than they were, a bit less optimistic than they were a few months ago. But for us, personally, subjectively, it hasn't really affected our business and all the deals that are ongoing or we've been in the middle of negotiating. We've got some massive announcements coming up that have happened during this bear market, and they're pretty big, global scale things, which I think are going to surprise a lot of people in the industry.
Yeah. Hey, David, that's super bullish. I know you keep that close to the chest from the AMA, waiting to deploy those. I do know there's some aliens coming up, and so that's all pretty exciting. I'm wondering, just like on what you're talking about on the your kind of North Star, something I think we all align on organizationally, is really like abstracting away the user experience as a source to onboard people, really meeting the consumer where they are. This focus on their preferences, what they're doing, so that they can participate. I think it's like mission critical, and it's one of my favorite aspects of your entire approach and the patience there. I'm wondering, with regard to like this to the AI League and working with FIFA and those audiences, there's two components that I'm curious about. One is we've got this like hyper complex decentralized AI based protocol with ASM that we could geek out on, and I love it, whether it's the splicing, the training. But I'm wondering how you've been handling kind of the challenges with that philosophy, and also incorporating this like decentralized core AI protocol in this like mass adoption game. That must be very challenging. I was wondering if you can give us kind of any color there. I've been curious because that's a tall task.
Yeah, you make a really good point. We looked at the game for FIFA and compared what we'd done, what we've been building with AFA, to what we thought the expectations of the FIFA audience would be, and there was a bit of a delta there. We had to realize the Altered State Machine community and the fans of AFA, they've been on this journey with us for over a year now. They know all the intimate details of what we're building and why we're building it and how it will work. And when we release that game, we're releasing it to a community and a market that is pretty well educated on what we're trying to achieve. And we're going to get some good feedback from that. We couldn't approach FIFA in the same way because we're essentially releasing it to an audience of 3 billion fans who have no idea what we are and what we're doing. So the first thing it needed to be was just a game that they can understand and play. We actually had to come up with 2 new patents in order to create the AI behind this game. So it's actually going to be a completely novel approach that's very much simplified from AFA, but has a huge amount of mechanism discovery. So it's going to be interesting to see people's reaction to how we've approached this. It's really cool technology the team has come up with to enable people to play around with AI in such a user-friendly way, in a mobile native way, because again, you're on a device that doesn't necessarily warrant complex sort of gameplay. The way we translated that and to enable the stuff that we really like about gamified AI, which is that whole mechanism discovery side, tweaking things, playing with things, looking at different combinations, seeing what works and optimizing. So hopefully we found a really good balance with what we've done for FIFA, and all the players that will be coming on to play the FIFA game, hopefully it gives them a good understanding of gamification of AI in general, which will lead them into the bigger titles like AFA and Muhammad Ali and the future of the FIFA games.
Totally, I love that. Just a quick follow up, and I'll step back here for my other counterparts here to ask their great questions. But on the when you mentioned there's 2 use cases right now, right? We have the thingies they're doing there, and they're an ASM brain. And I guess I'm curious, is there training going on right now through these games? Like when AI League comes out, is there going to be active training that is helping the ASM algos? How is that happening in the background, to the extent you can tell us anything? I'm very curious if the thingies, are they training and feeding and all getting smarter, or kind of maybe how that's going on, and maybe how that interacts with the broader AI League strategy? Would be great to know.
So the thingies are learning, definitely. You can see the evolution through their art, and they seem to have access apparently to our internal wiki pages, because they keep on leaking shit before we get the chance. But I can tell you right now, the thingies are definitely learning. For the FIFA League, there won't be direct training within that, but there will be sort of an introduction and a stripped down version of training and adjusting your artificial intelligence. Which again, I wish I could go into it because it's really cool. But we're gonna have to wait until the game comes out before I can talk about that. And then active R&D training. So one of the massive things that we're doing, and I think Aaron's mentioned it, so it's probably okay that I can mention it, is the 3D generative AI 3D generative objects stuff, which is we're likely looking to be first to market with that, and that's going to be epic. If we want to be able to create these massive spaces with lots of interesting things to do, we can't be spending 8 man hours per object that needs to go into these spaces for modeling. So we're going to need some tools to enable people to create objects and fill these spaces and create these 3D worlds. So the R&D team have been working pretty hard on that, and it's looking pretty positive. So there's that. There's a music side and a whole bunch of other stuff that's coming up.
That's exciting. There's a few people asking when they can expect the game generally. It's this year, next year, Q1, Q2.
The FIFA game, FIFA game will be launched in January. We didn't want to do it sort of on Christmas, with a lot of noise going on during that time, and also the recent changes from Apple gave us a bit of a challenge there that we've had to overcome. So January is when FIFA should be expected, and then that will lead into the AFA game, and we're looking end of Q1, potentially beginning of Q2, depends on how the FIFA game sort of plays out for AFA, and then Muhammad Ali Next Legends. We'll start to see that that journey play out, sort of, I think, beginning of Q1. But that'll be sort of iterative, so it'll be different experiences sort of converging on a ultimate experience.
That's really exciting. I can't wait to get in there and start working through like strategy, I guess, of how I'm training my brain versus how other people should train their brain, right? Because part of the fun is going to be, I guess, predicting what other people's strategies are going to be in the FIFA AI League game, right? And being able to exploit their strategies. And I guess what makes one strategy be significantly greater against another, right? I think that the difficult part, just thinking through it, is like you can't predict every strategy, right? And since it's a live game, you can't really iterate on your strategy mid-game to try to come back and beat your opponent, right?
I wouldn't say that's universal. That statement is universally true. Some use cases might allow for synchronous strategy changes, and some of this new technology that we've created allows for some real time adjustment of the machine learning models.
Have you played the game yet?
I've been building it, so I've been on, on the dev team for this one, and I regularly play the daily builds. So, yeah, it's looking fun.
That's exciting. Yeah, I guess obviously you've played it since you're deving it, but my follow-up question was, I guess, what's the most challenging, interesting aspect of it that you've seen without giving any unwanted leaks? Help me prepare, man.
Yeah. It's I think it's picking the right personalities for the right players, and then the right mix of personalities for those players.
So I guess certain brains could be like an aggressive striker versus more reserved defender position. Is that kind of what you mean by personalities?
I'm probably not going to go into it any more than that.
Dang it, I thought I had
you
you.
know what I mean. You know what I mean when it comes out.
All right.
I got a couple of questions, David. We've talked about how Root's getting kind of spun up and we're creating the wallet for the prediction game. Is this our name kind of on Root? Did we just kind of like name our own identity layer and start that process? Or is this fully just wallet creation and no network interaction yet?
So there's network interaction, but that's not your permanent name, no. Yep.
And then I think it'd be helpful when we're thinking about AI League and someone downloads the game and makes a purchase, like, can you go over all the cool stuff that's happening behind the scenes on that? Because it's not as simple like purchase and done. There is a lot of interaction, and you've already hinted at like the LP with the Astro Energy, but I think it'd be helpful for context, like all the crazy stuff that's happening behind the scenes.
Yeah, sure. So sort of behind the scenes, when you acquire a FIFA AI League character, there is a unique asset being minted on the Root network. At the same time as that and going into a custodial situation, we'll probably need to do an AMA with the Root Network team to just dive deep into how that works, because it's not how things work on Ethereum. Is a much smarter way of doing it. And I'm not going to do that part justice. So once that happens, at the same time, we're also taking that fiat on-ramp payment, converting a portion of that into USDC and ASTO, and then creating an LP token, which gets put into the Void protocol, awaiting for someone to claim it with ASTO energy. And subsequently to that, if we step back up to the customer level, they can just go and play the game as normal. They might have no idea about NFTs or Web3 and might never know about that, but their friend might come to them and say, oh, I just sold my player for $100. They're like, oh shit, how do you do that? They say, oh, you claim custody and then you put it on the marketplace, and then they go and take custody of it into their own wallet, go through a bit of a discovery process about how to do that, and then interact with the functionality that they wanted to interact with at that point, which is trading on a marketplace. So some people want to do that, some people will never care about it in their lives, and just quite happily go on with never claiming custody of something that they own. But I think as time goes on, people will start to see the benefits of owning their own assets and interacting with them, and trading them, and having them interoperable, and all the wonderful benefits that self-custody assets have. But we're not going to force it down their throats.
So when we're playing in the AI League and we're interacting behind the scenes and have no idea that we're interacting with Root and the ASM protocol, how are they training? Are they training with like the equivalent of Asto Energy, or is it kind of just one of those for the FIFA game and for AI League, we're just letting them train? Because I think that's probably different than what the All-Stars would be training with.
Yeah, so it is working completely different from the All-Stars. It's a super trimmed down version of AFA, where there's no live training going on. And again, I can't go into the method yet until the game is released, of how that exactly is going to work. But we still have all the mechanisms discovery of training and all the dynamic outcomes of training, but we don't have to go through the compute heavy process of training each individual player. And it all makes sense when we release it, but it's kind of a completely novel way of doing machine learning interaction, that's lightweight and more casual, and more angled towards a mobile game.
That's pretty cool. It's like a pre-alpha of the All-Star game, being able to kind of test certain functionality in a limited fashion.
Yeah, and we might, we might see some of these features actually end up in the AFA game, depending on sort of how the community responds to them. But yeah, they're pretty cool. What's that old saying that I can't remember the saying, but basically, because we had a challenge, and a short time frame, we had to be pretty inventive, right? The way of of finding a way around these issues, and in that process, we managed to invent something that is pretty cool, that I think is going to see a lot of other use cases.
That's super cool. I have one last quick one. When we're training All-Stars, are we training with ASTO or ASTO Energy? Like, how's the training component work?
ASTO.
We had an interesting question in YouTube chat. Someone asked if people who play AI League are already connected to the Root network, and is there a chance for them to receive a root?
Oh, that sounds like an Aaron McDonald question.
Oh, you'll have to jump in on to the Discord and poke around for that answer there. But one last thing, because I know we're coming up on the top of the hour, is we need some sort of competition. So a lot of people hopefully are signing up using the link that we tweeted out at Ready Player DAO Twitter to get in and challenge us for these last few legs of the prediction game. And we promised to give out 10 Gen 2 brains. So I was thinking of the first place from now until the end of FIFA to win a brain. And then we'll scatter a few brains randomly throughout the leaderboard. But I think there should be some other challenges between RPD and some of the ASM prediction guys too.
We had talked about this before, and we came up with an idea. So we can compete. We can say like the top 5 or top 10 people on the RPD leaderboard versus the top 10 on the top 5 or top 10 on the ASM team, and the loser has to have people come on a stream with you guys or with us and do the hot chip challenge. So
that's brutal.
I'm signing up people on my team who don't know it yet, but what do you guys think of that one?
I'm
Question,
down.
do the previous stuff matter, or is it today going forward?
I reckon today going forward.
I think it has to be today going forward.
Yeah.
Oh, guys,
I think
let's pull up our
overall. We
leaderboard.
have this.
Hey, Rich, pull up our leaderboard. Let's see what we got here. Let's see what we've got at the top of the table right now.
Yeah, we had talked about making it even for everyone, and you guys, I think, said you could have everyone's score basically zeroed out in a spreadsheet, and so then we'll compete going forward so that everyone has an equal chance for this one.
I think we had a big day today. If today forward counts, I really like that because I think we nailed the Portugal game at 4RC. So
wait, you guys
do
picked Portugal. Okay, I was gonna say if you picked Spain to lose, I'm surprised, and that was a great pick.
David, maybe you could go over a little of the scoring, or Brian, like the scoring changed from the last round to this round. Like, how is the scoring? Is it going to remain constant going forward, or is there some scoring changes that we're going to kind of see mix this up?
So we've done the first Mayhem Day where the multipliers were increased. I don't know, Brian. Do you know if there's any more planned? I need to look that up. Check
I don't know if it's public, but I can make public what I've heard.
Yeah, sure.
I think from what I've heard, we're going to do a couple more Mega Points Mayhem challenges. So it'll give everyone another opportunity or two to get those really high point scores. We just want to shake things up a bit, keep the game interesting, fun, and give people a challenge.
There you go.
And it looks like there's like packs that are rewarded per round. So it's probably safe to assume like you'll let the round finish for the 16, and then the quarters come and points are going to go crazy again, probably.
Yeah. Yep. And I think that's you brought up a point that I wanted to highlight too, as far as for people who are entering late, is we are giving away a lot of prizes. We have some really awesome grand prizes, but if you're coming in late and you don't think you'll be able to catch up, we have a lot of other really cool prizes. We're doing accessory packs that have different levels of rarities for each stage. So at the end of each major round, we'll be giving away those, and everyone will get accessories. If you're in the top 40 through the top 11, you'll get rare accessories, and if you're in the top 10, you'll get what's called a mythic accessory. So that's really cool. So everyone, and even if you're bottom 60, you'll still get a common accessory. So everyone will get something, and then we'll also be doing random draw giveaways at the end of each round. So this past, go ahead.
The accessories are on Rivals, right?
Yep, your Rivals
not
leaderboard.
Global, not global leaderboard.
Yep.
So that's
good
just the people within your sphere.
Yep, who are just people who signed up around the same time as you. So you won't get paired up with people who have a lot of points already. You'll get paired up with people who are also kind of starting around the same time as you, to keep that competitive. But we gave away 300 free passes to the AI League game at the end of the group stage. And at the end of this stage, I believe we're giving out 200 World Cup soccer balls and another couple hundred game passes. And then the prizes keep getting better from there. I think we're giving away phones after the next round or two. So all you have to do is just predict. And every time you predict, I think it puts you in the drawing for that. So just make sure you're getting your predictions in, and you can qualify for all sorts of cool stuff.
This is awesome. I
Right.
just realized I got a mythic from group stage.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Brian, do you want to maybe go into like, can people purchase those packs? Or you also mentioned like the AI League pass. So it sounds like it's a paid game if you don't win one of those. Like, is there any details you guys want to share on that component for the AI League?
Yeah, so there will be you'll be able to purchase things within the AI League, but you won't be able to purchase the prizes that from the FFE. They're unique to the FFE. The AI League will be at the moment it's planned to be a subscription, a small subscription each month, and have some in-game rewards for playing things other than just the league side of it as well.
Can Rich sell his mythic pass? He didn't realize he just won.
No, I think it's a mythic accessories. So the trading will be enabled on Root Network of accessories and NFTs in general, when the Root marketplace is up and running.
Will those accessories help solve the nudity problem for these poor Root characters, or are they doomed to be naked for all of time?
So the FIFA ones are fully clothed. I think some of the All Stars actually have clothing, from memory. So like superhero ones and stuff, they've got clothing. Like I don't know if capes and boots count, but
Sure, we'll count it.
yeah. But they don't have a problem. A for Moon is a free place.
That's awesome. We did have a question because I think people saw the artifact debacle today, but do you ship to the EU outside the US, or are these all digital rewards? I guess the phones would not be, right?
No, they're real physical things, and we ship worldwide. Yeah.
Worldwide. That's how you do it. Someone ping some other Web3 teams on that one. But yeah, no, thanks for the chat. I think this has been super insightful. I know 10 times more about AI League and the Futureverse and the Root Network, which I just learned about today, than I did when I got on this chat. So this is a great chat, and I appreciate you guys coming on and doing this.
Before you sign off, can I ask a question? Hey, David, who's the best soccer player or football player in your family?
All in my family. Well, I grew up playing rugby. Aaron and Jeffrey both grew up playing soccer. So it's got to be between. I think Jeffrey used to play goalie, and I'm not sure why Aaron used to play centre or something. So I would suggest maybe Aaron, the best soccer player. Rugby, definitely me.
I played rugby too.
Danny and I were rugby players.
Oh, cool, awesome.
Oh, I didn't even know that. We need to get we need to get RPD versus ASM some friendly matches going. Soccer.
Oh, mate.
And rugby.
Oh, a touch match. Hey,
touch. I'll play touch.
Flag.
Right. I mean,
like flag football.
Majority of New Zealand. The majority of Alter State Machine are New Zealanders. So,
yeah, never mind. Take just soccer then. Just soccer.
This sounds like such a bad idea.
Just soccer.
Yeah. We played against Samoa's like under 16s, and they just whooped us. So the grade was just not the same, But I
Still
love
keen
it. That's
though.
awesome.
Still keen.
Yeah.
And
totally.
touch is a different game as well. It's much more athletic.
That's better for
So,
me.
you know.
Yeah, I'll do that one. All right. Well, yeah. Again, thank you guys. We got to keep this healthy competition going. I can't wait to watch you guys eat a hot chip.
I hope I don't have to do that.
All right. Well,
I haven't done the recruiting yet, so you may be safe.
Oh no, he's signed up
Probably
now.
not.
He's signed up now.
That doesn't sound like something I'm going to get out of.
Well, thank you guys for
We're
your
also
time.
going to
We
win,
appreciate
so I'm
you
not too
talking.
worried about it.
Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah,
Thanks everybody.
I believe in you.
All right.